Welcome to the Life Atelier podcast. I'm your host, Emma Lavelle, and today is like an experiment. Okay. I love experiments. A lot of what we do in the Life Atelier, in fact, almost all of what we do in the Life Atelier is about experiments, either deciding to run an experiment, whether that's about your business, your personal life, about something that you want to do, or it's evaluating the experiments, finding the learning, and then setting up the new experiment. And I was preparing the Masterclass, the Joy Journey Atelier that we're going to run on Friday. When I say we, that's the royal we. I will be running it this Friday, but you will hopefully be participating. So it is going to be collaborative. And I was thinking about the three things that we're going to cover, what I learned from doing the practice version of it. So the three things we're going to cover are number one, wanting, the skill of wanting. Okay. Very often we set goals from either a place of what we think we can achieve, which is usually something smaller than we're actually capable of, right? Because we've learned to set the thermostat a little bit lower, or at the limits of what we've seen before. Or we're setting goals because we think we should set the goals. So, classic example of this is financial goals. The more I think about it, the more they don't make sense to me, because money is a tool for other things, right? So often people will set a financial goal, but actually because they want to create safety, or they want to create freedom, or there is something specific that they want to do, or there is something specific that they want to invest in. So the money is actually, it's just the tool to get you to the place that you want to be at. So why not just focus on the thing that you actually want to create? Okay. So wanting really is a skill. It's something that I've been playing with a lot. It's the practice of allowing yourself to receive, whether that's taking compliments, whether that's bringing people into your business instead of putting up blocks because, you think that, oh, someone else can look after them better than me, or whatever it is, right? So wanting is this real skill. So that's the first part of the masterclass that we're going to do on Friday. The second thing we're going to look at is changing your relationship with failure. And what I like to think about again with failure is how can we turn failure from being something that feels scary and it feels like it must be avoided at all costs for all kinds of good biological evolutionary reasons, right? But when we are upgrading our brains with coaching, which is what we're doing all the time, we're looking at what we want to achieve and then what do we need to do in terms of what we think and how we evaluate and how we feel to create that result, which is a different result to the results that we've had in the past. Okay. So, in terms of failure, being a partner, I love to think about failure now as like a friend that I'm going on an adventure with. And they're a friend that has different skills to me, right? So I'm quite a wordy person. I tend to live in my head, imagining ideas. And so, who do I want with me when I'm going on an adventure? I want someone that's good at the numbers bit. They're good at gathering the data, reminding me to look at the data, okay? Evaluating and saying, okay, I know it feels bad right now, but actually, when we objectively look at this, I can see that we've discovered this thing which is going to help us next time we try it. Okay. So I almost create a person from failure. And for me, failure is like the balance. And they have these skills that I don't necessarily have easily accessible all the time. So failure is the buddy that I want to go on these adventures. Okay. So we're going to look at how to do that. The third thing we're going to look at on Friday is, let me go back and have a quick look. What did I put for our third thing? It's going to be, oh yeah, going all in on the destination, feeling like the journey. So for me, this is massive. I've talked about this a lot, but this is really the point of the joy journey is how do we go from I will feel happy and satisfied and fulfilled when I've achieved my goal to I feel happy and satisfied and fulfilled. I love myself. I love my life. And that is how I'm going to achieve my goal, right? It can sound like a very subtle shift, but where you put your focus is everything. And it's a very beautiful experience when you're able to practice that. So it's something that I've experienced myself, and I love to teach now. So what I'm going to do, part of that experimenting was I thought, why not on the podcast take you through my own journey of creating the Life Atelier, the coaching studio, through those 3 points. Okay. So first of all, this may not be exactly what you see when you sign up, because I'm still like, the coaching studio has come from a place of that first thing, right? Of wanting. I wanted to create a beautiful platform. I wanted to create something that felt like a sanctuary, that felt like, somewhere that I would want to hang out. And it is now, right? But that is after the second thing, failing. I failed a lot. If you've been in my world, if you've been part of the original Life Atelier, the various what's the word I'm looking for? Iterations of it, the various versions of it, you will know I have changed, I have failed, I have messed up with this a lot. But I've always had this idea in my head of what I wanted to create. So right now, if you're watching the video of this, you'll see the outside and you'll see, welcome to the Life Atelier. Join us if you're ready to create deep, glowing self-confidence. And that is still really our mission. The way that I'm teaching people to create that self-confidence has not changed enormously. We prioritize self-trust, we prioritize failure, but the tools that I've been able to add to this, certifying as a time hacker coach, creating my 15-hour work week, those have really amplified and augmented, right? So what you'll see when you go in is you can choose a plan. So we have a free version where in the free version you might even be watching this podcast on YouTube as a video inside the free version. There's a 7-day course that's free. There used to be a 27-day course, but I learned from that. That was one of my failures. Like, it was really fun. I learned a lot when I was doing it, but I realized, like, whoa, we don't need 27 days. Like, what we need is for you to get a result, to see how you can change the way that you approach things in 7 days. And from that point, decide if you want to become a full member or not. And, if my style of coaching is what works for you. So now you've got the 7-day activation reset, which basically teaches you how to stop procrastinating from a place of like good energy. You've got the private community for this podcast. And then we've got 2 paid options at the moment. So there's the Life Atelier Studio, which is, again, like, it's all about my own experiences and my own failures and seeing what happened with my coaching clients when they have this idea of a start and an end. And sometimes there might be a particular skill that we want to learn and we just want to do a course and that's it. And then we're done. But coaching is much more similar to wellness and fitness. And for me, yoga. Coaching is very similar to my experience of yoga in that it is a daily journey of discovery. It is a practice to reconnect to yourself and to reconnect to your body. It has these layered experiences. Depending on what's going on in your life, sometimes you will want to practice by yourself and really dive into connecting with yourself and exploring things. Sometimes you'll want to do it in a group with people and have that shared energy of being in the room. Sometimes you want to work one-to-one and you want somebody, have that expert that can see just by adjusting you a millimeter or a millisecond, maybe not a millisecond, well, maybe, but at least by adjusting you. Downward dog is a position that I had been doing for years, practicing at home, and I had no idea that I was doing it wrong. I was missing. I just needed to move a millimeter, literally just a millimeter, and then suddenly I had a whole different experience. And that was the moment, being in the yoga studio, when the teacher just moved me and I experienced that, where I thought, oh my God, we do need a studio. We do need a coaching studio, because it's the same with your mind. Coaching is about working with your mind and then connecting that to how is your body responding to your mind, right? And your body's response to the emotions that you have in response to the thoughts that you have in your mind. Now, we can have one experience where we work out what's going on, we find a solution, and that's great. But what can then happen, I'm just going to check. if I've left music playing in the background. No, I haven't, thank God. But what happens is that the world keeps moving, it keeps changing. We're alive, right? So you may have worked on repairing, healing your self-confidence around one thing, and then later in the day, you rub up against something, you experience the energy of somebody else, and you feel it kind of wilting a little bit. So it is this like constant practice. So for me, that's why we have a studio. That's why I don't want a course where you just come in, you do the course, and then you go away. Like the point of a studio is that you have a coaching practice. Now, there's also the Hit Life Atelier, and that is for people that want to go all in. And that's part 3 of the Joy Journey Masterclass on Friday, or if you're watching this later, or we're doing another one. Going all in does not mean that you're going to throw the kitchen sink out and hustle until you break. Going all in for me is it's almost about surrender. When we talk about this capacity to receive, when we talk about, destination being like the journey being like the destination, the two, right? When I was building my 15-hour work week, the energy that I came into it, which is the energy that I naturally bring to a lot of things, is brute force. Right, let's make a list of things that I can do. Okay, change this, make this happen, do this, do that, right? Hustly, hustly, hustly. And actually, what I needed to do is think about, okay, why do I want to create a 15-hour work week? Is because I want to feel calm. I want to feel spaciousness. I want to feel unhurried. I want to feel powerful. I want to feel like I've got all the time in the world. I want to feel, when I joined it, I was 36. Yeah, I was 36. And I wanted to feel like I have the time and the space to explore dating and love and connection. I'd left like a very, very long-term relationship. And I also want to not feel the pressure of, do I want to be a mother, right? And this time pressure that society puts on us. And I couldn't find a way to do that on my own. So that's why I got support. And I got to that place of, yeah, right, I have all the time in the world. I have this space. I'm going to enjoy the moment and be where I am while I'm building my business. I'm going to enjoy every step of this. I'm going to luxuriate in and savor all these little discoveries and these moments. And I really want that to be the place that you go to when you think about being all in. Okay. So those are the different options. So that's what you'll see more or less on the outside. Now, when you come into the community, what you may see on the left-hand side is, first of all, your free content. So we can click on home, and you'll see this is a specific platform. It's one that I've built. It's called Mighty Networks. And we have inside here community, courses, and then your coaching calendar as well. And the really cool thing about this is also it's on an app. And again, that was about me thinking like, what do I want? Right? I did not want to be managing a Facebook group. And I didn't want for my students, my members, to have to sit at a computer. So I started from, what do I want? Right? There's a private podcast because I like learning when I'm walking Rita and when I'm out in nature and when I'm in the countryside. And I wanted my clients and my members and my students to have a similar experience. So often you'll think about what you want, it'll be crystal clear, and then you'll come up against a business coach or an expert or a family member or a partner, and they'll say, yeah, but you need to think about what the person that you're working with wants, or actually you need to think about them. You're already thinking about them, I guarantee it. Okay, I guarantee it. And what you want can also be great for them, right? We can have all of the things. If you think about receiving and you think about connection, how does putting yourself first, returning to yourself, and thinking about what do you want and what do you need also give freedom to the other people in your world and in your life? If I think about relationships, coming back to check in with yourself and think, what do I want? Do I still want to be here? The gift you're giving to your partner or the person that you're having a relationship with is they know that you are choosing to be there again and again and again. You're not there because you don't think you have other options, or you're not there because, well, we've spent this much time together, so I guess we should continue. The same with friendships. We often focus on romantic relationships or business relationships, but how amazing to have a friendship where again and again you return to I love hanging out with this person. I love their mess. I love their craziness. I love how they've evolved. I love that they let me evolve. I even love it when they don't let me evolve because they want to protect me. But I get to say to them, this is what I'm doing right now, right? It really does create this freedom. So you'll see on the left, we've got our free community, free course, podcast area. Then we've got the Life Atelier studio, and you'll see there is the Life Balance Retreat. Now, the Life Balance Retreat is the signature course. So this is based on the tools that I learn in the Time Hacker certification, because I realized through my own experiences that our number one priority for my clients, for my members, is creating time freedom, because it is the biggest reason most people give for not doing things. And they'll say like, oh, I'll work on this goal when I've got more space, or, I'll make changes to my relationship when things are a bit calmer. The thing is, and I say this with love, things don't get calm until we decide to make them calm. The calm comes from decisions, from dropping things, from taking risks, deciding to experiment with new things. So everybody that enters the Life Atelier will start with creating time freedom. They'll start with creating time freedom because the journey that you go on when you create time freedom is also how you build the self-trust and the self-belief to know that you can create anything else. After that, you'll then get the joy journey. And the joy journey is all about how do we set goals from being the person that learns on the way, and from having that like deep confidence and deep self-trust of, hey, I've changed my relationship with time. If I've changed my relationship with time, what else can I do? Right? It really is a very different energy for you to approach goals. Now, you'll also see, if you're watching this, there are other courses. So Prune and Bloom Atelier, this is part of the monthly membership moving forward. So there will be a monthly workshop and training. We're starting with the Joy Journey Atelier this Friday. You've got the Prune and Bloom Challenge, which used to be a free challenge, but I want people to experience the Life Atelier in a more kind of targeted, faster way. But our members loved doing it. So I've kept it. I haven't got rid of it, but I've put it inside with all the resources into the membership. You'll also see the Fluid English Studio, and that is to support our members using English as a second language. It's a way to build and develop confidence. And I will be adding the Minimalist Business School. So if you don't have a business and you've been thinking about trying one, you're going to have those resources too. And finally, the HIT Life Atelier. And the HIT Life Atelier is where it's for those of you that want to go all in. And it's about getting that Voxer coaching. Voxer coaching is great because it means that you can get one-to-one coaching. And again, it's me choosing, like, what do I want? What works for me? And trusting that that also works for the people that I coach. And I love walking Rita and having my phone, right? And I have the Voxer app on it. It's like a walkie-talkie, listening to voice notes from my clients and voice noting them back. So we've got office hours each week, as well as group coaching calls. And I can also add in, if I can feel that, okay, stuff's happening in the world right now that's not good, I can feel people losing their energy, losing their motivation, and we need extra things, then I drop in extra calls as part of that. So this has been to show you, like, number one, those 3 steps, those 3 levers that you can consider when you're working on your projects or your goals to create more joy, to just have a completely different experience. And then also to show you, like, what a business designed and created by somebody going on the joy journey, what that looks like from the outside, and then my reasoning behind it on the background. So if you're available, if you're free, do come and join me at the Joy Journey Atelier this Friday. If you're watching this later inside the live atelier and you've got questions about it, then you can just DM me your questions. And lovely, beautiful people, hope to see you on Friday.